Hello everybody, I welcome you all to NKS Geology class. Today I will discuss about the island arc. Island arcs are the arcuate chain of islands that mostly form archipelago or a group of islands in the oceans, particularly near the continental margin due to subduction of the oceanic plates beneath the continental plates. So it is a feature which is found at the convergent boundary zones where a oceanic plate goes down below a continental plate, as a result of which chains of mountains or chains of islands are created. Chains of volcanic islands or volcanic mounds are being created, and the very shape of these islands are arcuate. That's why, or arc shape. That's why these islands are described as island arcs. Let us take the example of some of the island arcs. In Pacific, actually, most of the island arcs are concentrated in the Pacific Ocean. They are New Zealand, Kermadec and Tonga, Melanesia, which includes Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Solomon, Vanuatu or New Hebrides Islands, the Philippines, Taiwan, Japan, Mariana, Kuril, Kamchatka Islands, Aleutian Islands. So all these Mariana Islands, all these islands, they are present in the Pacific Ocean, and they are the result of subduction of one plate, subduction of oceanic plate below the continental plate, as a result of which these islands have been produced, and these are the island arcs in the Pacific Ocean. Besides this, we have the island arcs in the Atlantic Ocean, which includes the West Indies, that is in Caribbean Sea, produced by the subduction of North America below Caribbean plate. Similarly, there is South Sandwich Island, which is produced by subduction of South America under South Sandwich plate. The Aleutian Islands, they are produced by subduction of Pacific plate below the North American plate. Kuril and Kamchatka Islands, they have been produced by subduction of Pacific plate below Okhotsk plate. Mariana is produced by subduction of Pacific plate below Philippines Sea plate. So in this way, the island arcs have been produced. In Mediterranean Sea, the Hellenic arc, which is present near southern Greece, and Aegean Sea islands, is produced by subduction of African plate below the Eurasian plate. So these are some of the examples of the island arcs, and the island arcs are mostly concentrated in the Pacific Ocean, because all around the boundary of the Pacific Ocean there exists the convergent boundary zone, and therefore the oceanic plate, that is Pacific, that subducts below the continental plates, and there the island arcs are found to be produced. Now let us discuss what are the general features of the island arcs. The island arcs are arcuate in shape, volcanic in origin, and they are produced by subduction of oceanic plate at the margin of the continental plate, or that subduction takes place by the oceanic plate at the with the continental plate. This margin this margin may be the oceanic part of the continental plate, or it may be the continental margin. The length of the island arcs found to be of the order of 1000 kilometers or so, with width 200 to 300 kilometers, and they are mostly located at a distance of 160 to 200 kilometers away from the continental margin of the continents. So these are the island arcs are volcanic origin, and they extend over a length of around 1000 kilometers, and they are much away from the continental margin at a distance of about around 160 to 200 kilometers away from the continental margins. The convex side of the arcs are found to be facing the ocean. In the concave side of the island arcs are found to be facing the continent. This fact you have to remember. The island arcs arc shaped, the convex side is towards ocean and concave side is towards the continent. And the deep oceanic trenches are associated with island arcs, because the oceanic crust bends from the trench, and it is found to be melted with depth, and the melt is erupted into the land side, continent side, to produce the volcanic arc or island arcs. So trench is found to be associated with the volcanic islands. Away from the trench, towards the land, the island arcs are found to be placed. The trenches are located on the convex side of the arc. The deepest trench is the Mariana Trench, which is around 11 kilometers and is present in Pacific Ocean. With the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, which goes up to 11 kilometers, and these trenches are the sites of negative gravity anomaly, and the island arcs or the concave side of the island arcs are the site for positive gravity anomaly, because landmass is being created there. And in case of trenches, there is mass deficiency, and that's why there is seen negative gravity anomaly. And volcanic rocks constituting island arcs are found to be variable from tholeiitic basalt on the oceanic side to alkaline and andesitic on the continental side, with the formation of andesite line on the concave boundary of the arc. So island arcs, they form a zone of active seismicity with shallow focus earthquake towards the trench and deep focus earthquake towards the continent, and the focus of the earthquake may extend up to 700 kilometers, forming the Benioff zone on the descending limb of the oceanic plates. So these are the major features that are found to be seen with the island arcs and the trenches. And it is very often seen that island arcs they possess a second arc that begins where the first arc ends, but with a different trend, which gives rise to double island arcs. Island arcs are geologically very young and recent in age. Most of them are Cenozoic in age, less than 65 million years old. The island arcs may occur in pairs, that means double chain of islands. In this case, the outer chain is made up of sedimentary rocks, while the inner one is made up of volcanic origin. Actually, both the chains are initially volcanic origin, but later on, one of the arc becomes magmatically inactive and is found to be covered by these sedimentary covers, and that's why this outer arc becomes sedimentary and the inner arc becomes volcanic in origin. Example of single arc are Kurile Islands, Mariana Islands, Sandwich Islands, and double arcs are Aleutianians. Actually, Aleutianians are single towards west and towards east they become double. Towards the North America side they becomes double islands. Largest and youngest batholiths are found to develop in the arcs, and the studies have proved that there is no Precambrian metamorphic nascent sheets in the island arcs, and these Precambrian rocks are seen in case of the cratons and sealed areas, and they are not seen under the newly developed island arcs, which are very recent in age. So, Precambrian rocks are not found in case of island arcs. And the island arcs are found to present three types of rock: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks are found to be ranging from thulitic basalt on the outer side to andesitic and granodioritic within the magmatic arc or within the island arcs. And sedimentary rocks are found to cover the outer island arcs. There may be grave limestones, huge geosynclinal sediments with ophiolites, and also there is formation of metamorphic rocks, which are high pressure and low temperature metamorphic rocks associated with the island arcs. Because island arcs at the sites where magma erupts in form of lava, and this magma results due to melting of the subducting plate. Subduction takes place with compression of one plate against the other. So there is near the trench there is prevalence of high pressure and low temperature. So high pressure, low temperature rocks are being created near the island arcs. That's why the metamorphism grade is of greenschist type, which are seen to be present in the rock types of the island arcs. So island arcs are the site for igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Let us discuss on the origin of the island arcs. It can be explained through plate tectonics. It involves interaction of the two plates, the denser oceanic plate with the lighter continental plate, or with the oceanic part of the continental plate, which we can say it is a mixed plate. The oceanic plate is heavy, and at the margin of the continental plate it bends to plunge into the mantle. During this bending it produces trench. Trench is being created because of its bending below the continental plate. So the bending creates the trench. The oceanic plate plunges down and down into the mantle. It goes down and down into the mantle. During this process, with increasing temperature and pressure conditions at depth, the downgoing oceanic plate faces partial or complete melting. As it goes down, it faces resistance, no doubt, but with depth, the pressure increases, temperature increases, and there may be decompression because this is a junction zone. There may be decompression, so temperature increasing, and decompression results in partial melting of or complete melting of this downgoing oceanic plate, as a result of which magma is generated, which once created, it pushes its way into the crust from the mantle, and the eruption of this basaltic magma is caused along with mingling of the same with the sediments accumulating in the trench and the sediments which are pushed downwards with the descending plate. So there is mixing of the newly generated magma which is basaltic, that mixes with sediments and the continental crust, as a result of which the composition changes to granodioritic or to andesitic, and this granodioritic or andesitic magma erupts to produce the volcanic arc, and this eruption takes place towards the continental plate, and it takes place in front of the trench to produce arc-shaped islands or volcanic arc. If this arc is found to be in contact with continent, it becomes volcanic arc. If it is found to be within the ocean, it becomes island arcs. So it is the melt which is produced by the descending downgoing oceanic plate at depth that the magma is being generated. This magma comes up, mixes with sediments with the trench, and it's transformed into granodioritic or andesitic, and this magma erupts to produce island arcs. The distance at which this island arc appears from the trench is decided by the angle at which the heavier oceanic plate pushes itself downward into the mantle. If the bending is in this manner, the magmatism will be here. Here the arc will be produced. If it is in this manner, then it will be here. Same depth, it will be here. Here it will. So lower the angle, higher is the distance of the island arc from the trench. Steeper the angle, lower the distance of the island arc from the trench. That is, lower the angle, higher is the distance between the arc and trench, and vice versa. If the angle is 30 degree, it will be highest, D1 will be highest. Angle 60 degree, D1 will be lowest. So D1, D2, D3, D1 will be greater than D1, D2 greater than D3. Lower the angle, higher is the distance. Distance between the arc and trench increases with decrease in angle of subduction. The very shape of these islands are arc shaped because the descending plates or all plates, they are found to be curved bodies which move down with their margin matching with the shape of a curved body. If you take into account, this is a plate, this is the plate margin. We can see the plate margin. Plate margin is like this. It is going down. It is facing resistance, and as a result of which this margin is subject to melting. So it melts like this wedge. So it becomes, this is oceanic plate. This is going like this. So this will melt like this. So once melting is taking place, it will come up. So the shape of the island will be like this. This will be convex towards the ocean, concave towards the land. This has been explained here. The very shape of, because we know the lithospheric plates are not planar bodies, they are curved bodies. And these curved plates, they are moving over the asthenosphere, and they are facing subduction in the convergent boundary zones. So because of subduction, because of resistance, this curved margin of the descending plate faces resistance, it faces melting in this way. And the magma is generated according in this manner. So it forms convex shape, arc shaped. So almost all the island arcs, they are found to be convex towards the plate that descends down. So descending plate side will be presenting the convex side of the island arcs. This is a common feature on the basis of which the island arcs are identified, and which plate is going down, below which plate, that can be known from the very shape of the island arcs. If you take into account lithology of the island arcs, it is found to be very complex because of the subduction of the oceanic plate under the continental plate. The complexity develops due to following facts. That is, due to subduction, there occurs a mixture of deep water sediments, sedimentary materials derived from the oceanic landslides, from the continental rise, and ocean floor basalts scraped off the advancing margin of the subducted plates seaward from the island arcs. So when the oceanic plate is subducting, this is continental plate, scrapes of the portion of this descending plate may be scraped because it is forcing itself down like this, and it is facing resistance of this plate. So parts of this oceanic plate may be scraped off. Sediments are accumulating at this place. So all these are found to be mixed up to form a complex mixture which is called as melange. The lithological mix is called the melange. Here we find the formation of ophiolites. So besides, it also explains the occurrence of blue sheets as well as the ophiolites and that of andesitic lava. So we have if this is the descending plate, the arc is like this. Convex side is facing towards the ocean, concave side towards the land. So this is andesitic. This side is andesitic. Landward side is andesitic. This side may be basic, basaltic. And here there may be very complex mixture which may give rise to melange along with formation of blue sheets which is high pressure, low temperature metamorphic rocks because this portion is subjected to pressure, high pressure, this zone, high pressure because it is going down along with it is forcing itself against the resistance of the contender plate. So this zone is noted for high pressure and low temperature metamorphism, which is blue schist. It nearly towards this side it may be a green schist. Here it will be blue schist. Blue schist species develop along with ophiolites near the trenches. So this type of complex lithology is seen because of the convergence of one plate with the other and because of subduction, one plate goes below the other and this creates a condition for uppooling of generated magma to form the island arcs. Now let us discuss how the double island arcs being produced. The island arcs are found to be single. As we see, single islands are Kurile, Mariana, Sandwich, and Aleutians. Towards the west they are single, then towards the east they become double. So, how the double islands are being produced? Double island arcs are being produced, and let us discuss that two chains of volcanic islands are found in double island arcs. They are found to be adjacently developed and they give rise to double island arcs, as is found in case of the eastern side of the Aleutian Islands in the Pacific Ocean. But the Pacific plate goes down the North American plate with ocean-ocean convergence boundary. Here the subducting plate is Pacific below North America, particularly in case of Aleutian Islands, through ocean-ocean convergence. In the initial stage, the subduction of produced first volcanic arc or older arc or outer arc closer to the trench. This arc later becomes tectonically inactive. It forms older Aleutian Islands or submarine ridges. So, because of the subduction, the first island arc which is produced that occurs near the trenches. And during this process subduction, what happens? There may be buckling of the crust. Crust may be buckled. As a result of which, the deep angle of the subducting plate, because subduction takes place at an angle. This is the angle of subduction. because of buckling, this angle may change. So if this happens, buckling takes place and the angle of subduction changes, it results in, this process results in the rollback of the descending slab. The slab which is going like this, it may become like this. This leads to shift of the trench seaward. This was the position of trench, and now because of its shifting, the trench is found to move seaward. Generation of magma landward. As I have discussed earlier, that depending upon the angle of subduction, the trench and arc gap is controlled. Steeper the angle, smaller the distance between the trench and arc. Gentler the angle, more is the distance as trench gap. So during this rollback of the descending slab, the angle may become low, as a result of which there will be shift of the trench towards the sea, shift of the magmatism towards land. Initially the magmatism took place here. So here the arc is produced, the first arc. Now because of buckling, this became like this. So the trench shifted some distance towards this side, and now the plate is like this. So at this depth, melting will be there. So there will be no magma formation and rise of magma along this arc. So this arc will become inactive. No magmatism will be received here because of this lowering of the angle. Now magma will be created here. So another arc will be developed here towards land. So this will be inner arc. This will be outer arc. Outer arc is inactive. It is, as there is no volcanism, it may be covered by sediments. And this is active. Magma is accumulating. Magma is giving rise to the arc. So active. So this inner arc is volcanic. This arc is sedimentary. Initially it was igneous. Now it has been, there is no magmatism there. It has been covered by sediments, thick cover of sediments derived from the trenches. So it has been sedimentary. This is igneous. So these are the two arcs, and these two arcs, they give rise to the double island arcs. That has been seen in case of the Aleutian Islands towards the land side of North America. That thing has been discussed here. The sequence of events are in double island arcs. That Pacific plate has subjected below the North American plate. Magma generated, erupted, formed the volcanic arc landward next to Aleutian Trench. Then with time, the deep angle of the subducting plate changed, trench shifted oceanward, magmatism shifted landward, No volcanism is repeated in the first arc. So first arc became the site of accumulation of sediments on their top and it became inactive. The outer arc, it became inactive and it becomes the outer arc. Then magmatism shifted towards the land. Second arc or active volcanism took place towards the land side and a new arc is found to be produced at the continental border of North America. This produced the second arc or the inner arc and both the arcs accounted for the formation of the double island arcs. This thing has been explained, Pacific plate, then it is followed by Aleutian trench, then it is followed by outer arc, initially volcanic, later become inactive, become site of sedimentary deposit, form sedimentary arc. Then the four arc basin, then followed by inner young volcanic arc towards the North America. So this is the formation of island arc, double island arc. In case of Aleutian arc that took place in the Pacific Ocean towards the North American landmass, and if you take into account almost all the double island arcs of the world, they are found to be produced in this manner. So this is all about island arcs, how island arcs are being produced, where they are being produced, then how double island arcs are produced through change in the angle of dip of the subducting plates that I tried to explain. And I thank you all for giving a patient hearing to my talk on island arcs. Thank you all.